Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be talking about my fall skincare transition, and I'm also going to be showing you the new Merit kits. Now, I don't know if these kits are specifically for holiday or not. I do know on their website they say they are the fall winter kits. So it seems like it's a little bit early for holiday, but I do believe these are their holiday sets. So like I said, specifically on their website, they're not saying holiday, but I'm pretty sure these are the holiday sets. But regardless, they are beautiful, and I'm really excited to show you their new sets. There's this lip one that I'm showing you, and then there's also another mini Flush Balm set. So I will show you those sets at the end of the video. At the beginning of the video, I'm going to talk about how I am tweaking my skincare for fall. There's nothing major that I'm doing in terms of switching up products. Like I said, just a few tweaks here and there. But before I dive into the skincare for fall, I just wanted to let you know that if you are in the Portland area, Credo has finally opened up here in Portland, and I went to their event for their opening last weekend, and it was a great event, and the store here in Portland is absolutely beautiful. It is on Northwest 23rd, if you're familiar with Northwest 23rd. It's a great little street full of beautiful boutiques and coffee shops and restaurants. It's a nice street to walk down just to browse. And like I said, peruse the shops, get a coffee, get a latte. And anyway, this store, as I was mentioning, is absolutely beautiful. The lighting in there is gorgeous, and it was a great event. I was really thrilled to be invited to it, and I got a terrific swag bag. So this bag from Credo is filled with great items. Several of them I am not familiar with, but I've been testing them since I got them. So usually in October, Credo does a Friends of Credo event where you usually get 20% off, and that happens in October. So this is perfect timing for me to be testing new products from Credo so that I can give you some new recommendations. I usually do a recommendations video for that sale. So anyway, lots of new goodies from Credo for me to be testing. So I will be sharing some new things and some old favorites in the upcoming recommendation video that I'm assuming Credo will be having a sale in October. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that Credo finally opened in Portland. And as I mentioned, the store is absolutely beautiful. I really loved the way they had everything laid out. I didn't take too many pictures because I just wanted to really enjoy myself there. But I will say that the Westman Atelier display that they have was really, really beautiful. So anyway, for those of you in the Portland area who have been wanting to seek out Westman Atelier and you're centrally located within Portland, that's a great place to go to check out Westman Atelier. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the skincare. So in terms of transitioning into fall, hopefully you all are using gentle cleansers, but in terms of moving into fall, it's really important in the colder months to be using a gentle cleanser. Now, I still do like using a foaming cleanser in the fall and the winter. Now, I'm not reaching for those quite as often as I am in the summer months, but I do still like to use a foaming cleanser every now and then in the colder months. So I am still really loving this new cleanser from Merit, their Great Skin Cleanser. This is very, very gentle. So if you're looking for a very gentle foaming cleanser, I do highly recommend the new Merit one. Now, in terms of gentle cleansers, you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I absolutely love oil cleansers. And I just opened up this new bottle of the Mara Algae Enzyme Cleansing Oil. I believe I got this when Beauty Heroes was having their 20% off sale. And just to give you a heads up, if you are wanting to get this on sale, Credo does carry Mara. So if you are creating a shopping bag for the Credo sale event in October, this is something you might want to put in your shopping bag if you are looking for a beautiful cleansing oil. You guys know I also absolutely love the Live Botanical Cleansing Oil, and I have an evergreen code with Live Botanical, so you can always save 20% off with Live Botanical. So that's just a couple of suggestions that I have for very gentle cleansers. Now moving into mists and essences for the fall and winter, moving into those colder months, of course, I'm still going to use my mists, but I do like to use thicker essences a little bit more frequently. And continuing on the Mara theme, I absolutely love their Pearl Peptide Glaze. And I am almost out of this. I don't know if you can see, but I've got maybe about a fourth of this bottle left. I have just fallen completely head over heels in love with this essence. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the texture of it. It is quite emollient for a liquid essence. So when I put it onto my skin, I feel like it is hydrating as well as moisturizing, and it has the most gorgeous scent. I just put it on my skin this morning, so I'm still kind of reveling in the experience that I just had putting it on my skin. It has a nice blend of what I believe is bergamot and sandalwood, but it's not too heavy. It's just a very nice light blend of the two. So when you put it on your face, it feels very relaxing, it's very beautifully aromatic, but it's not overwhelming at all. It's very subtle, very beautiful, and it's a total pleasure to use this. I love using it day and night. So in terms of transitioning into the colder months, I highly recommend a thicker essence. But if you want a specific recommendation from me, I highly recommend this particular one. Now moving into something that's a little bit thicker than an essence, you all know how much I love emulsions. So what I will do both morning and night is I will clean my skin, and then after cleansing, I will use an essence. And then I will also reach for an emulsion product. So that will be something like the Apis Flower Sap or the Ambient Moisture Liquid from Live Botanical. I also really love this one from Edem. This is their Cashmere Peel. So I feel like as it's getting colder, you really need to stress hydrating your skin. That's why I like the thicker essence. That's why I like to really layer on these emulsion type products, because they're gonna give you hydration as well as some moisturization. But when it comes to the Edem, this is also gonna give you gentle exfoliation, which I also think is really nice for moving into fall and winter, but the emphasis is on gentle exfoliation. You don't want to do anything that's too harsh on your skin. And in terms of exfoliation, this one has lactic acid, which provides excellent hydration as well as gentle exfoliation. And then it also has gluconolactone, which also is a wonderful hydrator as well as an exfoliator, but it's an even more gentle exfoliator than lactic acid. This also has azelaic acid, which is one of my favorite ingredients in terms of an active, and that is going to help decrease redness. It helps lighten up hyperpigmentation, and it just brings down inflammation. It's a great ingredient, and it's also safe in pregnancy. So overall, this is a wonderful toner / emulsion type product that I absolutely love, and I think it's a great product to use in this transition time. Now moving into serums, which are even thicker than these essences and these emulsion type products, I really want to highlight this beautiful product from Glow Recipe. This is pretty brand new, but I've used it about 4 or 5 times now, and I am absolutely in love with it. This is their Prickly Pear Peptide Mucin. And this is a mucin product that does not have any snail mucin in it. Now, when it comes to snail mucin products, I have never actually used a snail mucin product because the idea of snail mucin just kind of grosses me out. I also just don't want to use any kind of a product that has a snail derivative in it. I just don't like the idea of having to potentially harm the snails, or I don't know why. I mean, I'm not a hardcore vegan or vegetarian. I mean, I do eat meat, but there's just something about, you know, having to get something from an animal on my skin that for whatever reason, I draw a line there. So when they sent me that this is a mucin product derived from the mucin from the prickly pear, I was very excited to give it a try. This also has peptides in it as well. So from the prickly pear mucin, you're going to get the same results that you get from snail mucin, which is bouncy hydration, barrier support, and then of course the glow that you get from the snail mucin. But like I said, there's no snail mucin in here. There's no animal products. This is a vegan product. And the other thing that's really nice about this product, it is completely fragrance free. So the scent from this product, and hopefully you can see that texture, it's kind of a liquidy gel type of texture, but hopefully you can see there that it kind of stretches out, that you've probably seen in other videos, or I don't know, wherever you've seen people talk about snail mucin, that it's kind of stretchy. So they say it's stretchy, but not tacky. And I agree with that completely. It's not a tacky product. And I'm gonna rub it on to my other hand so I can kind of disperse it over both hands. And it feels really lovely on the skin. It soaks in really beautifully, and it plays well under other skincare and makeup that I've put on top of it. And as I was gonna say, the scent just smells like the prickly pear essence. It just smells very earthy and a little bit herbal. I really enjoy the scent, and then it dissipates very, very quickly. So this product seems like the perfect product to integrate into this transition time where you want great hydration, you want something that's going to be gentle on the skin, it's not overpowering with any kind of a fragrance. It's moving seamlessly into my skincare routine, especially at this time of year. Now I do want to mention another serum from Glow Recipe that I've actually been using for several months now, but I don't think I've ever mentioned it on my channel. And this is their Blackberry Retinol Blemish Serum. So this has retinol as well as retinal in it. And even though they call it a blemish serum, so this is going to be great for acneic skin, this is also great for people who have concerns regarding smooth lines and texture. So it's a little bit marketed, I think, towards maybe a younger crowd, but it is great for those of you who might be in my age range. I am in my mid-50s, and this has been working great for me. Now, this is not fragrance-free. This does have a mild scent of blackberry, which I actually really like. And they say in the ingredient list that it is natural fragrance. And it has just a really beautiful scent of blackberry. I find it to be very pleasant. I was a little concerned going into trialing some of these Glow Recipe products that maybe they were gonna be overly scented, but so far my experience with them has been great. The scents have not been overpowering. They have not been too cloying or too much on the adolescent side. Now, I don't know if that's because the 3 products that I have tried from them, I've gotten kind of lucky with it. But like I said, this one is completely fragrance-free, the prickly pear mucin one, and it being fragrance-free tells me that maybe they're realizing that there are many of us out there who do not want to have heavily scented products. And as I was mentioning, the retinol serum is very lightly scented and it dissipates very quickly. So anyway, getting back to the texture of the Blackberry Retinol Blemish Serum. So again, this is what it looks like. It is very gentle and very soothing. So again, with this whole theme of transitioning your skincare into the fall and the winter, it's very gentle on the skin. It feels very nourishing. So when I want a retinol product, and I'll say that most of my retinol products and my retinoid products are very gentle on the skin, but this one in particular does feel very nourishing. So when I want to reach for a retinoid product, but I want it to be extra nourishing, extra gentle, this is the one that I reach for, and I really, really enjoy it, and I highly recommend it, especially to those of you who maybe are new to retinoids and you want to try something that feels extra gentle. Maybe do check out the Glow Recipe. Now, I know I was talking about gentle exfoliation being really important during these times, and these next 2 products that I'm going to talk about are very gentle, but they both contain salicylic acid. So it's a little bit of a step up in terms of exfoliation. But I will say that I like these 2 products because after the summer is over and I've been using a lot of sunscreen on my face and I've been sweating a lot more, I've been more active outside, I do tend to get some texture right around here. I don't know if they're just sort of like underground blemishes or what exactly they are. It's not like anything ever comes to a head right around here, and you can't see it. I can't even really see it when I'm looking in the mirror, but I can just feel this texture here that I definitely want to get rid of. So I like to reach for my gentle products that have salicylic acid. So the first one I'm going to talk about, you've heard me talk about before. This is the Alpen Beauty Clarifying Face Oil. This has retinol and salicylic acid. So this is clearly an oil product. So if you prefer oils, I would recommend this one to you. It's beautiful. I love the scent of it. It has a really light kind of vanillic type scent, which I really appreciate. A little bit of a departure from the typical Alpen Beauty scent, which tends to lean on the berry side. So this is really gorgeous. I love mixing this with something like the Apis flower sap, or I love mixing it with the Live Botanical Ambient Moisture Liquid. Those two scents blend really beautifully because the Ambient Moisture Liquid has a little bit of a strawberry scent. So that strawberry mixed with the slight vanilla scent is beautiful. So those two mix really well together. But if you prefer to have something that's more like a lotiony serum, then I would point you to the Remedy for Pore Size. Now this has encapsulated retinol as well as encapsulated salicylic acid, so it is quite gentle on the skin. It also has niacinamide, and I really like how you just twist the cap and then it pops up. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Hopefully you can see that it is quite lotiony, like it didn't run down my hand at all. And this texture is really beautiful. It's kind of cushiony, has a really nice slip to it, and there are no silicones in here. I just love the texture of this. It's really beautiful. And it's a pleasure to use, it's a pleasure to apply, and it is quite efficacious. So if you are looking for a retinol product that does also have salicylic acid and has a great price point, then I would definitely steer you towards the Remedy for Pore Size. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention a couple of creams that I really enjoy for this time of year. And they are from In Beauty, and I really love the Extreme Cream. This has a really wonderful texture, especially for this time of year. Now, I just want to point out though that I do think the packaging is a little bulky, but I want to show you that you just unscrew the cap and you'll see that it is very easily refillable. So that is why the packaging is a little bit on the bulky side. But the reason why I love this cream is because it's got peptides in it, it's got ceramides in it, it's got the bioretinoids in here, or they call it the bioretinols actually. So they're not actual retinols, they're bioretinols. And when I reached out to In Beauty to ask specifically which ingredients in the ingredient deck do they consider to be bioretinols, I will just list here down below which ingredients they consider to be their bioretinols. So I do believe one of them is a botanical and then two of them are peptides. So those are the bioretinols. And then they also have this reverse emulsion system where there are tiny water droplets suspended in oil droplets. And you can kind of feel that when you disperse this cream onto your skin. So it's kind of a lotiony cream type of texture when you first put it on. And I'm going to actually spread this on both of my hands so I can talk to you about that experience. So it kind of feels a little bit thin when you first put it on, but then it's interesting because as you rub it onto your skin, it feels like it gets thicker, but then it's not like it becomes watery, but you can feel almost like those water droplets in there. It's really interesting. It does become more emollient, and I don't know, it just gets this really interesting slip. It's just the most interesting cream I've ever used, and I really love it for this time of year because it's not too thick. It's not like it gets super occlusive. So you really get the sense that your skin is getting really moisturized. It's also getting that hydration that it needs. I love the emollients that it provides. So you're getting all this great nourishment without an intense occlusive feeling. So you really feel like your skin is going to be able to breathe throughout the night. So When it comes to getting deeper into the winter, that's when I start reaching for a little bit heavier of creams and balms. But at this time of year, I don't really feel like I quite need to go there yet. So I do reach for the extreme cream during the summer, not every single night, but pretty often. But now, while we're transitioning into the fall, I've been reaching for this more and more frequently. And then when it comes to their In Beauty Extreme Cream, I use this almost every single night. I absolutely love this eye cream. I've had this for a while, ever since they launched it, which has been well over a year. And like I said, I absolutely love this. I love the texture of it, which is almost identical to the Extreme Cream, except for this is just a little bit thicker. I use this very liberally all over my eyes. It never causes me any eye irritation. The main difference with this formula, besides the texture, is that it has specific peptides that are going to help lift, contour, and smooth the eye area, as well as helping to reduce puffiness. So when I use this in the nighttime and then I combine it with that Korres, the roll-on under eye serum that I spoke about in a previous video, I feel like that's really helped decrease the puffiness in my eyes, which is something that I have been battling almost my whole life, is waking up with puffy eyes. So like I said, this combined with the Korres under eye serum, which I spoke about before, has been really, really helpful. So that's about it when it comes to the tweaks that I have been making for the fall. I do want to get into these Merit sets. The first thing I'm going to show you is the Mini Flush Balm Trio. And the color up top here is Postmodern, Le Bon Bon, and then Redux. And Redux is the limited edition color for the box. And this is Postmodern, and this is a deep brown pink, and this is part of the permanent collection. And then we have Le Bon Bon. This is also a part of the permanent collection, and this is a bright pink. And then the limited edition color for this box is Redux, and they are calling this a medium warm pink. And this is actually what I have on my cheeks today. And I'm gonna put just a little bit more on so you can see it in action. And I don't really get a lot of pink from this. This just really feels more like a warm brown. And I just turned off the ring light so you can get a better look at the color. And like I was saying, I don't really get a lot of pink. I feel like it's that warm brown color that gives you that sun-kissed look, but I feel like it's going to transition into the fall very, very nicely. So I think it's really flattering. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Brownstone from Versed, and Merit have the same owner, so I kind of think that's a little bit interesting. So if you've seen Brownstone, but you're not a big fan of the stick formulation, you tend to prefer the Flush Balm formula, then you might actually want to think about getting this trio, because this Redux color is actually really pretty. And like I said, it does remind me of Brownstone. And I decided to do a quick swatch right here so you could see the comparison. So this is Le Bon Bon. This is Postmodern, and then this is Redux. So hopefully I did an okay job of blending out Redux using the viewfinder as my mirror. That's always a little bit tricky, using the viewfinder as the mirror. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the fall winter set featuring Archival as a lip set. Now, I just want to let you know that these sets typically do sell out, and the lip sets are definitely the first ones to go. This lip set is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and first talk about the lip liner. Now, Archival is a color of the Flush Balm, and it is a cool mauve. So all of these colors are in the cool mauve family. So let me show you what this looks like in the lip liner. And if you're not familiar with their lip liners, they twist up. So it's a twist up pencil. And then on the other end, you can pull off the little sharpener. So that's always really nice. And that's what it looks like up close. And I'll just give you a swatch of Archival. And this is a quite deep color on the lips. It's a little bit darker than what I usually go for. So on my lips today, I actually have lined my lips with Bespoke. And this is what Bespoke looks like. And here's Bespoke for comparison. So Bespoke's up top, Archival is down below, and you can see how much darker and deeper Archival is. And I just tend to not wear such deep lip liners. Now I have played with Archival a little bit, and I can get away with it if I use a very light hand. But for video purposes and for creating this video today, I actually wore Bespoke as a lip liner because I really wanted to overline my lips a little bit. And if I overline with Archival, it just does not look good on me. So just for full transparency, I do have Bespoke on my lips today. And then I went in with Archival in their lip blush formula all over my lips. And this color is absolutely beautiful. I really love this color. The cool mauve in this Archival lip blush is very, very wearable. It's not too muddy and it's not too dark. It's super, super flattering and I really, really love it. So you can see it's not quite as gray and muddy as the Archival lip liner, but I like how they're giving you a little bit of a variety of how Archival is going to be translating on the lips. So if you want it to be a little bit more of that deeper grayish color, you would just go heavier with the Archival lip liner and either overline it or just go a lot heavier around the lips because it is a glossy texture, and then just maybe dab on a little bit of the lip blush in the center, or if you want, just line your lips with the Archival lip liner and then just gloss your lips with the Slick Sheen in the Archival again, which is a cool mauve. Now I don't have this on my lips yet today, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this on. And I have been using this the last several days just on its own. And I love this lip gloss so much. It is so pretty. I love it on its own. I love it over the Archival lip blush. I think they make for a beautiful pairing together. So you can see how it changes it a little bit. I love the glossiness over the lip blush. I personally think this Archival lip kit is an absolute stunner. I think it is gorgeous. These two are obviously my favorite, the lip blush and then the lip gloss. I keep calling it a lip gloss, but it is their Slick Sheen. Now in terms of the Archival lip liner, that is not something I'm going to be reaching for on a regular basis. It definitely gives me a more dramatic look since it is so much on that cool kind of grayy, mauvey side, but it is really beautiful. I just have to use a light hand with it and it will be more for an evening look for me, but it is beautiful. It's got that creamy, glossy texture of the Merit lip liner, so it's very, very easy to use. So if I am going to use a darker lip liner, then this would be one that I would be reaching for. So I think that does it in terms of all the information I want to give you about these Merit sets for fall and winter. Again, TBD on whether or not these are the official holiday kits, but I will let you know as soon as I get any information about any other launches from Merit in terms of holiday. And then, like I said, that does it for the minor tweaks that I'm making in terms of transitioning my skincare from summer to fall and winter. And yeah, stay tuned for whatever's going to be happening with Credo and their friends and family sale. But like I said, I had such a great time at their opening, and thank you so much for inviting me to the opening. It was really a great event, and I look forward to sharing more information about my new discoveries from Credo. And thank you guys so much for watching. You know, I always appreciate your time. If you enjoyed the video, please do give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.